Of this post or the description, the question is, are you disgusted with yourself because you're not where you want to be or something along those lines? Is pretty direct, and it's pretty specific because, you can be like bummed out. Oh, I wish I was here. Or you can be disgusted with yourself. And so if I'm talking to you, you know what I'm talking about, right? Otherwise you would have just, I'm not disgusted with me. You'd be gone. But if it's one of those situations where you're like, I should be whatever, you should yourself all the time. I should be this, I should have done that, or I shouldn't have done that. What is wrong with me? Why can't I get there? I should be there by now because I did this. All of those stories compile, and you've reached a point where now you're just disgusted with yourself. It's like you're not even liking yourself. Now, I know this is an extreme degree, and it may not be like that every day, but if you ever feel that way, I just want you to realize that that is just indicative of your brain's current wiring. That's how your current wiring is taking the results you've gotten out in the world as you've taken action towards your dreams and making meaning out of them. So why did you make that meaning? Why do you make a series of meanings that end up feeling disgusted with yourself or judging yourself harshly? Well, that's something you picked up along the way. Again, we all get wired differently from the outside in. We're born and our brains are wide open, and whatever our parents believed, that tends to be the fabric of our truth, or whoever was sort of our major influences there. So if you came from an environment where you kind of learned somehow that you should beat yourself up if you don't get to a certain point or you don't accomplish a certain goal, that's very prevalent. And so it's not uncommon for that to be part of our wiring. And so we learn that it's just right to be disgusted with ourselves somehow. Now, not everybody does that. And you can see that those are the happier people who they just keep going and they accomplish their dreams and they keep on going, right? They don't stop themselves with that negative self-talk. So if you have that mechanism, where after a certain amount of tries, maybe it's a certain amount of years, and keep in mind that sometimes the journey to your goal gets elongated because of this self-talk, because of how you act and be in the world, because of the chances or the risks you don't take or whatever, because you are, quote unquote, disgusted with yourself. So that is a very important part of your timeline. So what if you weren't disgusted with yourself? What if not reaching a goal or getting a result that you didn't want didn't have to mean that there was something wrong with you? It was just more information to work with as you move forward. That's the mindset of the people who actually reach and accomplish their goals, right? They just keep going. So this wiring, it's in place. What do? What can you do? Can you do anything? Yes, you can do something. That's the beauty. Just like you were wired with these beliefs from whomever, however, and they've become this fabric of truth for you that is causing you to make decisions that are leading you to feel this way about yourself because you're not getting the results you want. We can replace that wiring with more empowering wiring. How do we do that? Well, I like teaching that. That's what I do. That's what jazzes me. And so the way I do this is I have these live trainings 3 times a week where you can come in and you learn about how did I get wired like this? And how can I change it? Specifically, here's how it happened. And the reason we show you how it happened, and it's not rocket science, but the reason we show you that and then compare how you were programmed or wired with other people, you'll see that it's something that's pliable and plastic, and that our version of the truth is only that, our version of the truth. And that if we're willing to tweak our truth so that it actually gives us more opportunity and feels more empowering, we can get different results. So that's what I teach you in these trainings. So they're free. There's different times of the week, different times of the day that you can choose from. So just follow this link, choose a time that works for you. And it's always live. It's not a pre-recorded thing. It's always live, which means I'll be there to answer your questions or give you some laser code, whatever you need to help you along with this journey. Because look, this when you get disgusted with yourself, when that mechanism triggers, it feels terrible, right? It can take you out of the game. You're flooded with chemistry that just doesn't feel good. It's like, blech. But it happens on autopilot. It happens automatically because of the wiring. So the first thing we do is make you aware of it. So even starting today, when that happens, you can just be aware that, hey, this is not the truth. This is just my wiring. And it can be changed. So what I invite you to do is be thinking about, how would you like it to be changed? How would you like to respond in these situations when, instead of feeling defeated or disgusted with yourself, how would you like to feel? Because you really do get to choose. And at these trainings, we're going to show you exactly how to do that and to get into a daily routine of doing this so that your predominant thoughts can replace the ones that have been running on autopilot for all of these years. So I hope to see you in one of those trainings really